Hey, if you like my content, please consider subscribing, drop a like on my video, and share it on social media. Thanks. So continuing on with my analysis of Darkmatter2525's agenda short film that he made, which just appears to be a video supporting the SJW religion that has become so prolific in the United States and in the West in general over the last few years.
Kind of nonconformist. I see. But couldn't we just fight back by putting a bunch of straights in movies and video games and whatnot? That's already the case, sir. Really? For how many of them? All of them. Oh, wow. Who okayed that agenda? Nobody. We just never called it an agenda. Excellent.
So yeah, there are straights in movies, and there always have been. But years ago, Matthew Broderick played in a movie where he played a gay man. Matthew Broderick is not really famous anymore. I don't know. If you're young, you might not know who he is. He played a gay man even though he's straight in the 1980s. I think it was like late 80s, 89, maybe 90 even. You can't do that today, right? Oh my gosh, we have a straight man playing a gay man in a movie. That's a high crime. It's a high crime today. The woke agenda does not want that to happen. They yell loudly about that. However, if you do it the other way around, if you have a gay man playing a straight man in a movie, oh gee, let me see, Doctor Strange, then that's okay. You can do that. But you can't go the other way. You know, you have movies like Aladdin, the live action version of Aladdin, which I did a review on. There's only a few white people in that movie, and they act like bumbling barbarians. I'm not kidding. They're idiots. They're barbaric, whereas the brown people are all civilized and intelligent. And I wouldn't really have a problem with it, other than them being portrayed as idiots. But you could dismiss that if we didn't have this woke agenda going on today. You could just dismiss that as hey, they're trying to make a joke. It's funny. Okay, but we have this woke agenda, which is like, okay, you're making them out to be stupid barbarians because that's how you view white people, and that's how you want the world to view white people. But the problem really comes in. You have a show like The Witcher, set in ancient Poland, what I think of the year 1100 in Poland, and you have to have black people around every corner. There's black people involved in every different tier of society. They could very easily overcome this by having like black people play different races. They have magical races in the show. They could just have black people playing those different races. But no, they don't want to do that. What they do is they have black people just integrated into society because you have to have a diverse cast. You know, it's just garbage. There are plenty of movies out there that have zero white people in them or very few white people in them. But if you do that with shows and movies today, oh, you're racist. Look at this show, that 70s show. The 70s show from the late 90s, early 2000s. It's a pretty fun show. They didn't have any black people in it, so what did they have to do? They had to write in Stephen Hyde as being half black. The guy has blue eyes and blonde hair. He's not black. You just did that because you want the diversity points. People complain about Friends. Friends didn't have any of the main actors as a minority. It's like, so what? So what? Who cares? You can have your black shows. I used to watch the Cosby Show. I didn't see any white people in the Cosby Show when I was a kid watching that. There were other black shows that I used to watch as a kid. Webster. I mean, I think Webster had white people in it, but there are plenty of other ones. There are plenty of shows that had only black people in them, or usually only black people. Fresh Prince, the Sanford and Sons. There were other ones too, and I just don't remember the names of those shows off the top of my head right now. But there are plenty of shows that only had black people in them, and now you can't even have a show that's all white people. It's ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, there's always been straight white people in shows. Yeah, okay, right. But they're trying to stop that now. They're trying to do away with that. And they're doing a pretty good job of succeeding.
What's next? The atheist agenda. Okay, what are those godless heathens up to now? They disagree with religious people? Outrageous. Right. They want to push their arguments and ideas about how our religion is incorrect, and they want to do things like not be fired for disbelieving in God or run for public office without having to pretend to be Christian or pander to us. They also don't trust appealing to an unseen authority figure and want us to actually substantiate our claims and arguments. But they still believe in freedom of religion, correct? Yes, most of them do. Excellent. So let's just say that discriminating against them is necessary to exercise our religious liberty. Include anyone else we happen to disagree with, too. If they disagree with us, we'll say, aha! Now look at who's intolerant, or...
Yeah, so I don't hear people saying this about atheists anymore other than Muslims. Muslims are the only ones I come across who are like, atheists are just inherently evil, blah, 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 we can't hire them, we have to be intolerant of them. Do you have a citation on these claims where you're saying, like, they have to pretend to be of a religion to keep their job? Because it's illegal to fire people based on their religion or lack thereof. So, yeah, you can't do that without getting into big trouble. And it is very clear the states do not tolerate this. All you have to do is go to the, Fair Employment and Housing Department and tell them what happened. And guess what? The company you work for gets fined. You get any kind of pay that you are due, and stuff like that happens. So I don't see where this is happening. I think this is just some sort of red herring that you're kind of throwing out there to make people unhappy or upset in some way, to prove your non-existent point in this case. It's interesting that you seem to be doing this to make the claim that you are not a victim, yet as an atheist it seems like you are making the claim at this part of your video that you are the victim, that there are groups coming after you and your atheism. And it's also interesting that you claim this even though it doesn't appear to be happening. I've not seen it happening in recent years. Yes, it was happening in the past, I think, but not anymore. But it's very interesting that you ignore the real threat to you, which is the threats against straight white men. So,
Persecuted? Exactly. Also, anytime we don't like something, we're going to label it a religion, even if it has nothing to do with religion, which will take the pressure off of our religion. But I thought we like religion. Religion is bad unless it's our religion, which we're currently saying isn't actually a religion. What about...
yeah, so it's not if you don't like something you call it a religion. You call it a religion if it is dogmatic and doesn't have evidence to support its claims. BLM, they don't have the evidence for the claims they're making that black people are being brutalized by the police. White people are killed more frequently by the police than black people are in this country. Hispanic people are killed at a rate slightly higher than their population is represented in the general public. So how is this a white on black issue? And BLM claims that Black Lives Matter, then how come they don't say anything about the murders of black people by black people? Yeah, so this is just wrong. I've never heard anybody refer to Antifa as a religion. No conservatives anyway. It's a terrorist group. So if something is a religion, then yeah, call it a religion. Even Christianity, of course, right? Even Black Lives Matter. Even the feminist movement is a religion. The SJW movement is a religion. Those are religions because they're basing all of their claims on just non-factual things. Women are oppressed. No, they're not. Feminists have nothing to say because it's not true. But they'll say it anyway.
When we want to claim religious rights from the government, then it definitely is a religion. What if one of those other groups we're calling religions now want to claim religious rights from the government? Then they're definitely not religions, temporarily. I see. Are the heathens doing anything in popular media too, like the gays? Sometimes, but we got that one covered, boss. Whenever they do, it sparks a national outrage, and we call it communist propaganda. People still...
When did this happen? I don't remember this happening. Do you have a citation on this? I don't ever remember something like this happening.
But wait a minute, don't we promote religious ideas in movies and literature and whatnot? Oh, yeah, all the time. We even got our own sections in all the bookstores, Walmart, Target. We've got tons of movies from the likes of such iconic and renowned celebrities as Kevin Sorbo, Kirk Cameron, Dinesh D'Souza, etc., all dedicated to smearing atheists as scared, angry dum-dums who really do believe in God. But don't people see that as propaganda? Oh, not at all. That's just normal. Hell, we even sell baby Bibles at all the major retailers. Wait a minute, the atheists aren't.
I see it as propaganda, and obviously you do too.
We're also working on using the state to indoctrinate children. Any pushback? Some, yes. Welp, more freedom of religion violations. Obviously, we can't properly practice our religion without an enormous state apparatus to enforce and impose it upon the children of people who don't believe in our religion.
Okay, so where is this happening? I'm sure you have a credible claim here. I just need to know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Do you have examples? Can you provide examples of the state saying that everybody has to be Christian? They do say that everybody has to believe in God. I would agree with that maybe, but I don't think they really base their God on Christian faith. It's just God in general.
A tyrannical government is fine as long as it's tyrannical in our favor. Got it? Got it. Could that ever backfire? Nope, never. By the way,
Oh yeah, you're right. The liberals don't want any of their tyrannical beliefs enforced, their nonsensical beliefs enforced by the government. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. They're going around forcing me to do the things that they want me to do, like use their pronouns. Like in New York City, you have to use a person's pronouns, how they identify. The government is taking my tax dollars and putting it into programs to help women, when that same money could also be used to help men in the same situation. You know, there's no male abuse shelters. There's a ton of female abuse shelters though, victims of domestic abuse. So don't give me that crap. The liberals do that just as much as the conservatives, if not more.
it's a war on men. Soy, estrogen, transgenderism, women in the workplace. They're trying to make women more like men and men more like women in order to domesticate us. They're making more movies and games with women who act like men. You know, badasses and whatnot. Okay, we need to step up our trad wife campaign. Make sure to let everyone know how happy women are when they're doing dishes, laundry, and changing diapers.
So, where have you been for the last 10 years? Of Smash the Patriarchy. Okay, so let me refresh your memory. I mean, Father's Day is now for mothers. We've seen these commercials the last few years.
She really is like the most amazing mother, but she was really an incredible father. Like, truly incredible.
Happy Father's Day, Mom.
Mamá, feliz Día del Padre.
Hi, Mom. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, Mama.
Happy Father's Day, Mom.
They're getting more egregious. We see these females shoehorned into male roles all the time. And again, it's not because they're female. I don't care. I don't care what gender you are, as long as it fits with the story. That's what matters. And it doesn't even really have to fit with the story. If it's a really awesome story, I mean, I can let some of that stuff slide. One of my favorite games is Draken the Ancient Skates. If you've never played it, it's a lot of fun. The character you play in that video game is a girl. It doesn't bother me, except in suspension of disbelief, because you do most of the combat you get into is hand-to-hand combat. You don't have to play it that way. You could get into like range combat or magic, but really hand-to-hand combat is what you're going to want to use a lot of the time anyway. And women are weaker than men and smaller than men, so it kind of challenges my suspension of disbelief. But I mean, it is a game about dragons and magic and undead zombies and stuff, so it's not that big of a deal. I like the action in the game, and I like the story in the game. That's what matters. It's the same thing with everything else that we have. I mean, you're taking all these movies and you're turning them into female-centric movies. You're going, oh, look, we got to make a female version of Ghostbusters. Why? Why do you have to make a female version of Ghostbusters? Or why do you got to make an Oceans movie that's female? Why did you have to make the, I think it was the Hitcher, a female character? They did that years ago now. You do this stuff, you're doing this stuff because you want to push this agenda that you have. It's not because you think that there's a need for this movie other than hey, we need to promote women in movies. Nobody is complaining about women working in the sewers, women working in mining, women working in construction, women working in the military. Well, maybe a little bit in the military, but no, they're complaining about women not being in these high-powered, cushy office jobs that have a high salary. That's what they're complaining about. Oh, there's not enough directors that are female. Women are being kept out of everything. It's just despicable, and it's not true. Women are allowed to do anything. So there is a push to get rid of men and to make men seem obsolete and worthless.
We need to kill all men. I am sick of being a baby factory that produces more men that will just, in the future, subjugate me. So the only answer to that is to kill male babies and just kill any man that you see, like in the streets, like any swinging dick. Just kill him. Because we want the species to go on, but we want it only to go on with women in it. So that's what we have to do.
More women are going to college. I work with women in my job quite a bit. You know, I know women who've been hired because they're women, not because of their merit, because they're women. It's ridiculous. They're trying to push women into every aspect of society and push men out because men have been on top. You hear them say this. Men have been on top too long. Smash the patriarchy. And then you have things like this. The gynarchy is the natural way. It is the best way, and we need to uproot the patriarchy. And by the way, the patriarchy is not a thing, and women already have all the power. It's not like it's something new. I don't know why you don't see this. It's right there in front of you.
And then there's the egg factor. Eggs? Yes. Women have a limited number of eggs, and if they don't use them, they lose them. They need to be shamed for not pushing out children, as is their God-given purpose in life.
This is their God-given purpose in life, if you believe in a God. Otherwise, you believe it is their destiny based on nature. How else are you going to replenish the population of people? I mean, really, women are the important side of the equation, right? The more women you have in your society and the more children you can have. You know, if you have a civilization of 100 people, you got 90 men and 10 women, you're in trouble. Now, if it's the other way around, you got 10 men and 90 women, that population is going to grow. It's just the way nature works. Women need to have babies to replenish the population. And regarding women and domestic chores, housework, and all that stuff, why is it that women are getting less and less happy year on year? Women are becoming less and less happy every year since they got liberated and were allowed to go back to work and act like idiots. Maybe it's just coincidence, you know, causation, correlation, they don't line up, right? Always. But maybe it's the truth that women are just happier in general being at home, being a housewife, raising the children. Why would you want to have children and not raise them? Why would you want to have children and then go off to work and be away from your children for most of the day? I don't understand that. It's the normal nature of things for the man to go out and do the hunting and gathering and slaying the dragon. The woman to stay nearby home. She can work, but her work is limited because she has to raise the children. Now we have Big Daddy government to do that for you, or you have to pay for child support. It's ridiculous to think that this is not actually a thing that we should be concerned about.
Slut shaming. More slut shaming. So if women show too much skin, slut shame the shit out of them. I'm a little worried about going.
Yeah, you know, we should call out people's bad behavior. Well, I don't know, to do that today, oh my gosh, that's a high crime. Unless that bad behavior is being white or male, then you can call that out all day long. Oh my gosh, you're a man, you're evil. Oh my gosh, you're white, you're definitely evil. And are you saying live and let live here? Because you're not really doing that. In this video, you're saying, hey, these people with these opinions, they're the wrong think. I'm not real big on the live and let live philosophy, but if I'm going to go ahead and support that, then that just means that I have the right to judge you. That's my live. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop you from living your life, but hey, I can judge you all I want to. Typically, I'm like, no, you did something bad. You should be called out for it. Now, there's evidence that promiscuity is not good for long-term relationships, and we know that long-term relationships are generally the best situation for a child to be raised in. I don't know if these studies are accurate, or if this is true. I have my suspicions about it, that it's not the case, that women can be promiscuous and still maintain long-term relationships. But still, this is not a world that I want to live in. And I know a lot of other people who feel the same way, that where women are just out doing whatever it is they want to do without consequence. And women have no consequences for most of their actions. And it's ridiculous. It's been taken way too far. And what about you, Dark Matter? What if your wife had played the field before you met her? Is that somebody you would want to be with?
Boss, really? Why? Well, if we constantly encourage women to cover up, stay home, and push out babies, people might start to mistake us for the Islamists. No, that's just for brown people. Wait, but I thought Islam isn't a race. It isn't when we criticize it, but when we draft policies against it, it definitely is. You just don't say that.
So, do you have an example? Where is this happening? Where is it that Islam is treated as a race in policy? I don't know that it is. I've never seen any policies that did that. And there are plenty of Muslim people who do not like the West. All right, I think I'm going to call it there. This has been a very difficult job, kind of going through and analyzing this video. I will put up another video in the next few days regarding this animation from Darkmatter2525. So we're almost done, really. We've gone through most of it, and I think I'll be able to finish it in either one or two more videos. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.